Hi there, it's Angie, and we are going to talk about joins today. So, as I said in the other video, um, I've been asked to make a reverse Reigo specifically playlist. So, that might be something fun for my channel. I haven't seen a lot of channels with that. So, I'm going to try it. If you could please let me know down in the comments what you think, what you like, what you don't like. That would be helpful to me to know what people are wanting to see or what is helpful to learn. So if this reverse Reigo playlist goes well, I'll keep it, and if not, I'll get rid of it. So today we're going to talk about joins. So let's go to this other camera over here really quick and talk about some joins. I lost my pointer. There it is. Okay. Today we're going to talk about 3 joins. We're going to talk about the up join. Oops, sorry, went the wrong way. Up join, down join, and lock join. I do apologize about the sound if it's getting lower or softer or whatever. Please let me know. I might be needing to get a microphone. So anyway, traditional up join, front side, back side, down join, or the lock join. Those are the 3 that we're going to be looking at today. And we're going to be doing it in reverse Reigo style. And here we go. All right, so I have my thread just started in a regular knot. As you advance, you will probably get rid of the knot to start with. If you would like to see how I begin, you can check out my video. I'll have it flying in over there, hopefully, about how I start without having tail, or how I tat over my tails and how to begin with that. I don't think I've done a reverse Reigo video, so maybe I'll have to put that one up and then put this one up. So anyway, it'll be in the reverse Reigo playlist. So there you go. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or whatever. So you set up for a ring, just like you always do. Regular and then reverse Reigo. Remember, you go up and then up like so. And I have found, as an addendum to that, it's easier if it comes out the back left for me or the top right. Sometimes the top right gets a little fiddly, so I do like bottom left coming out the shuttle. Well, first you have to do that part. So I do like that the best for the reverse Reigo. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 4 picot 4. And I will be right back. All right, so here I am. I've got my 4 picot 4. I've done a floofy dance to straighten them out the way I want them. Now you reverse your work, wrap for a chain. Oopsie. Throw your shuttle around a bit. It's kind of like the hokey pokey. Throw your shuttle in, you do. Anyways, you gotta have fun when you're tatting, otherwise why tat? All right, and then we're gonna do, I think I figured 7. So you want to snug that first stitch pretty close. And I see that I've already captured my tails, which you don't want to do, but I did it. So let me fix this and I'll get my chain in and I'll be back. Okay, I put in my 7 double stitches, so I'm going to reverse my work again and I'm going to set up for a ring. And I'm going to do 4. Now, Forgive me a little bit here. I have been practicing with reverse Reigo, but I'm not super great or super fast. So if you need to fast forward, I don't blame you. And my stitches aren't quite as consistent in reverse Reigo. I'm working on it, but it's just not as natural of a movement. For those of you that are doing Adagio by Mike Lyons, I did one of my rounds or one of my motifs in reverse Reigo just for practice. So that was kind of fun. All right, I've got 4 stitches. Now I want to join to this picot. Okay, to traditional up join we're going to talk about first. So you would get, and this is very similar to my other video, so please let me know if this is too repetitive. And of course I didn't go and get a crochet hook because I didn't have one in here for the last one. So let's keep it consistent and not have one. So I'm going to try and do it with the pick. But you just kind of get it close. And you want this thread that's on your hand, on the loom, to come up through the picot. So you just kind of go down through the picot with your pick, hook, whatever you got. Whoopsie. Grab a piece of it. Oh, I did it. See how it's on the shuttle? Okay, and then pull that up. Now I've taken my middle finger out and popping it up on that middle finger, because if not, let me open this a bit. If I don't, and of course it probably won't do this because I'm trying to demonstrate. Yeah, it didn't. A lot of times if you drop this loop, it gets a beautiful twist like that in it, and you don't want that. So you want this to stay open and untwisted, unencumbered. So you keep your ring finger back there in your loop, in your loom, to keep it open, and you pop up this loop that you've pulled up from your loom through the picot on your middle finger. So let's do that again so you can see it. Okay, so there's my ring. Let's get a little closer. There's my ring. I want to join to this picot. I'll grab an external, this is a crochet hook on the end of there. So you just take your crochet hook, you go down through that picot, grab it and pull it up. You pop it on your middle finger just to keep it out of the way so that it stays open. Now you take your shuttle and you just go through that picot. This is the same for reverse Reigo or traditional. And you just pull that down into the pinch, and you do this little walkie dance because you want this to be right next to your stitches. Otherwise you got a big old picot join looking thing in there. So you pull on your shuttle thread and pull on your loom thread, and you just sort of do this walk. Okay, until it's snugged down next to his buddies. Okay, then you have a choice to make. Hold that all in the pinch. Now, you can go ahead and make the first half of the next double stitch, or you can make the second half of the stitch that you're on. Some people will go ahead and make this second stitch and pull that down, and then that will be a whole stitch there at the join. I, most of the time, do not do that. I don't count my join as a full stitch. What I do most of the time, there's my join, and I just begin again with the first half of the next stitch. Pull that down into the pinch next to his buddies, second half, and there you go. So if we were counting this, I apologize. I thought I had that on silent. If we were counting this, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4. The way I've done it, join, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 again. If you did it where you put the second half of the double stitch in there, you would count it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your join would count as 1. So then you would 1, 2, 3, 4, and another picot. So I have done it where I'm counting join as nothing. 1, got my fingers all thumbs here. 2, 3, 4. Like I said, I'm a little slow, so if you have to fast forward, I won't be offended in the least. Now I got my loom too small. Urgh. Okay, here we go. Oh no, I got a picot. See that accidental picot right there? Anyway, I will say a word about picots here. This is a ginormous, to me, joining picot. This is a decorative picot to me. These are decorative picots. I wouldn't join them that big. This is a very large joining picot to me. That little accidental one that I made back here, that is more in line with a joining size picot. Okay, I'm going to fix some of my mistakes. I got to get that out of there so you can see this properly. So give me 1 second. I'm going to fix it, and then I'm going to make my second ring, and I'll be right back. All right, I have one more stitch to put in for my 7th. So there we go, and then you snug your stitches, make it a little arch, do your little floofy. I already did my little floofy for my other ring, so there you go. And then reverse your work. Let go, okay. And there you have it. So if you look really close, there is your join. There's your up join. And it kind of looks a little off center, and you'll see what I mean when we do the down join. That you can, the legs look different on the up join and the down join. And if I squish those together, it doesn't look like a completed stitch where you've joined it. Okay, so now I'm ready to make, I'm ready to wrap some more thread on this shuttle. Oh my goodness, I'm almost out. Okay, so we're going to do 4 stitches. Get that first stitch, you want to snug it real good and close. And again, this is reverse Reigo method. I did this at the request of a friend, so I hope you like it. Okay, so there's my 4 stitches. Now this time I'm going to do a down join. So the last time I took my, let's open up our loom just a little bit. The last time I took the loom thread and I got my picot close and I went down through the picot, grabbed the thread and pulled it up from my loom. Now this time what we want to do is take that loom thread, lay it on top of our picot, and we want to take the thread from the picot down. Again, pop it on that finger. Make sure it's not twisted. Shuttle through. Again, not twisted. Lift up that middle finger again. Nothing's twisted, see? Nothing's twisted. And then you want to snug it not next to the previous stitches. And so you got to do the little walkie dance. So you pull and you just slacken, get rid of that slack. And you want to pull it up really close. And see how the down join already looks like a finished stitch. It already looks like another, what could be considered a purl bump. That's the difference, but we're going to go ahead and finish this off. So again, same thing. If you wanted to, you could put in the second half of the double stitch, or you could just start again with the first half of the next stitch. Count it the same way. It doesn't matter how you do it. Since I did it that way on the first one, I'm going to do it my way on the second one, where I don't count the join and I start over with the first half, second half. So that's my first stitch. 2, 3, 4, and then another picot. And again, these are huge picots for joining. Most of the time, here, let me take that back out. Most of the time, my joining picots are more in line with that size. They're very, very tiny. I don't want to see a lot of space. I don't want there to be a lot of space in between. And you got to keep that, keep it all in perspective. If you have teeny tiny picots and your motif is cupping horribly, you might want to lengthen out your picots. Maybe that's the trouble. Maybe it's too much, too tight. Because us tight tatters, we got to kind of back it up sometimes. So I think that's 4. I've been talking and not counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. I'm going to go ahead and post my shuttle. So front to back, same thing. See how it comes out the back of your work. Pull on that shuttle thread. We don't want to pull on the shuttle. We want to be kind to our shuttles. They're our friends. They're beautiful. These aren't. These are ugly shuttles. I'm going to grab some pretty ones for next video for sure. I got to thread up some pretty shuttles because I have some. Here's one example of this that's painted. This was originally green, just like this one, and my friend painted it like she does rocks. So be inventive with your shuttles. Have fun with them. Okay, so let's look at our joins. This first one was an up join. And see how the legs are different? You can see they're kind of look one in front of the other. And see this one's legs, this down join. They're much more consistent. If I push them behind one another, see how that one doesn't look like complete stitches on the up join. Now look at the down join. See how that all looks like a complete, and that all looks complete where the join is. I'm going to turn this over. Maybe it'll show it better on the back. But see how the down join, that's the down join, that's the up join. You can kind of see the stitch on the up join where you can't really find it on the down join. up join, down join. If you're doing front side, back side tatting, you will more than likely use the down join. If you're doing traditional non-front side, back side, it really doesn't matter. So experiment, try what you like, do what you like, and then you will be able to do it. Now I need to put in another chain and I'll be back. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, good. We're back. So there's my 7 double stitches. Now I'm going to reverse my work. Now, this is very similar to my other video, traditional lock join. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time. This is just the reverse Reigo version, and it's very similar. And I'll say again, like I said on that video, 1, 2, can't count and talk. 3, forward. Okay. That you would never, never, never do a lock join in the middle of a ring, because as the name implies, it locks. So here is, let me put this down for 1 second. Let me grab that other one. Okay, here's my sample piece that we looked at before. Up join, down join, lock join. And let me just put this on my hand as I had it. So there, as if I just cut the shuttles off. It's the exact same thing. So this was connected to my shuttle, and this was connected to shuttle 2 for my chains. As you can see, if I pull on my shuttle thread, this is 4, lock join 4. It's not moving. I can't open my loom. I can't close my loom. Nothing is moving. So the lock join will lock this into place. So you would never do this to join a ring to a ring, because you can't close your ring. Most of the time, you would use it if there was a motif of a ring above this ring. You would use it to lock here and then do your ring and maybe lock here. It enables you to change directions. A lock join does. So if you are doing a like this, where you're doing just just chain, and you're doing a whole round of them, chains want to keep curving. They want to keep going around. And so to stop them curving, you would put a lock join, and it would stop them. If you were joining to something, you would lock it in place to something, and then you could start a new hump, a new chain, and it would curve only so far, and then lock chain, and then it would only lock join, and then it would only curve so far. So chains want to keep curving all the way into a circle. So they naturally curve, and so to stop that natural curve, you can put a lock join, and a lock join will enable you to change directions. You could even put a lock join and maybe switch directions, where you could lock it and then, almost like you were reversing your work, although that is kind of pointless because the reversal of the work stops that from moving anyway. But the lock join, you would lock into here so it would stop the curve. And then you could do another, 7 stitches, lock, so then you could start another curve and then lock, and so on and so forth. Make sense? I hope so. So a lock join does exactly what it implies. It locks the stitches together. So let's do one. How do you do one, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you. So let me get my hands all back in here again. Okay, so I've done my 4 stitches. I want to lock join to this picot. Reverse Reigo, regular, doesn't matter. It's all the same. really in the joins department. So as before, I told you we're grabbing this loom thread. If you do the up join, you're going down through the picot and pulling the thread up through the picot, up join. Otherwise, you're going down and pulling the thread down through the picot in a down join. Lock join, you're not grabbing this loom thread at all. Whatever shuttle, and I will say 9 times out of 10 it will be shuttle 1. And of course, as soon as I stop talking and publish this video, I'm sure somebody will find a pattern and say, but Angie, this one says lock join with shuttle 2. Well, then obviously lock join with shuttle 2. But I would say 90% of the time your lock join is going to be with shuttle 1. Whatever shuttle you're using to make the stitches at the time is the shuttle that you use. So this is the shuttle. So you want this thread. So what you do, up or down, it doesn't matter. You kind of get your loom thread out of the way a little bit. I'm going to try to do this just so you can see it a bit better. Up join, down join, doesn't matter, but you want the shuttle thread to go up or down, whichever way you decide. Let's try it up. Let's go up through that picot. Pop it on that finger, per usual. Now I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Oh, no, I'm not, because I can't change my thread. That's right. See, it's already locking. Okay. And then just like you normally do, put that thread, see everything's not twisted. Put your shuttle through, and this is where it gets a little different. See, there's a space between your stitches and where you're joining. And you just have to, you just have to fiddle a little bit and pull whichever threads until you get the shuttle thread that you need to pull your stitches up to the join. And now I made that too tight, didn't I? Don't lock yet, little buddy. Okay, whoopsie. Okay. This is the thread I want to pull on, see? If I pull on this thread, those stitches come closer to the join. That's what I want. So I pull those closer to the join. I kind of hold that all in the pinch. Then I pull my shuttle thread, because in effect you're making a knot on this. I pull my shuttle thread. Ooh, that's going to be ugly. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Oh my gosh, that's so ugly. It's because my picot is so huge, is part of my problem. And you can unpick a lock stitch. It's just a booger, which, as the name implies, you know, it's a lock. Usually, I think I know what my problem is. Usually I go down. I do a down join, which makes this a whole lot easier. Okay. Let me pick this out. I'll be back and we'll do a down join, which will show it a lot better. Hold on one second. Did you miss me? Hope not. Okay, here I am. I'm back. All right, now let's try this again. The right way. You see that poor little picot is kind of pulled. It's pulled all out of whack, but that's okay. It's just tatting. You can work with him. Like I said, normally you pull the loom thread. We're not pulling the loom thread this time. So kind of just get it out of the way. Put your shuttle thread up over that picot. And because it's so large, this is an easier join than normal. Like I said, my joins are usually pretty small. Use the crochet hook so that this video doesn't go until Jesus comes. And pop it on your finger. Run your shuttle through it. Put your finger back in the loom. And like I said, this is where it gets a little tricky with the lock join. You just got to kind of pull on the right threads. So you pull that down and then pull on your shuttle thread. And sometimes it moves. And this picot is ginormous. So that's why it looks a little wonky. But I'm going to go ahead and put in, I've got 8 miles of thread out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And you can see, I don't know why that rolled. You can see it is locked, and that picot is huge, and that's why it looks so funny. But it is locked. It is locked into place. It's not moving, and so that's why you would never join a ring to a ring with a lock join, because you're not going to make a ring. It's going to be a ring to a locked mess. So, don't forget, if you want to try this, I would say traditional front side, back side, but that kind of is an oxymoron. If you do front side, back side, and you're doing down joins, make sure when you reverse your work to go to the back side, that your chains, you flip and you do second half first and first half second. So if I were, pretend that didn't exist, and I did this on the other video and it was just as horrible as it's going to be on this one. You would set up for a chain, pretend that's out of the way, and this is for only demonstration purposes. This is not what your work should look like in any way, shape, or form, but you would do the second half and then the first half, which this is actually Reigo. When we do reverse Reigo, we're doing opposite of what Miss Reigo originally did for her reverse Reigo work. And then when you reverse it back, then it would be all done. Just remember to flip those stitches. Reverse Reigo, it kind of automatically happens, but remember to reverse, to flip those stitches when you're on the back side. For a long time, I was not flipping them, and I didn't understand. Basically, it was just encapsulation, and I'm like, well, why does that not look right? Why does that not work? So just remember, if you're doing front side, back side, if you want to try and do front side, back side, true front side, back side, you need to do the second half first and the first half second, which in this case would be Reigo, rather than what we normally do, which is reverse Reigo. I hope that wasn't terribly, terribly confusing. But there is an up join. There is a down join, and I kind of messed up my lock join by doing that reverse stuff. But you can see the legs on the down join. Make the stitches so it looks like a completed stitch, where the legs on the up join leave that not looking like a complete stitch. So have fun. Join as you want to do. Experiment, find what you like. And as always, you know the tagline, at least I hope you do by now. You are the masters of the thread because you have opposable thumbs and if all else fails, scissors. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.